All right, welcome back. This is part two. I know part one got cut off a little bit, but that's okay. You pretty much were there. So, in part one, you made sure that you have your major claim or your thesis pasted into your analysis and evidence pre writing tool. And you got your supporting claims one, two, and three. And then also identified what are the sources that you're going to grab text from to prove each supporting claim. And now we're into the second part of step two, which is what is the evidence, or how are you going to describe or talk about what are you going to use from the document? You're going to want to, like, what is the quote? Or if it's images, it's what you're going to describe in that case. So what is, essentially, we would think of this as the concrete detail. It's the text. If we were writing a current event, this would be the text that you use, and then your commentary is what the text shows us. And there's kind of two spots here for the commentary that you'll develop. So let's look at this. You want to have yours open and think to yourselves, from each of these, what are the lines of text I'm going to use? It might get a little more complicated. You might have to kind of, I don't know, figure out something if you're using more than one source here. I noticed that Lila has two sources here. That's great. Let's go over, I'm just going to show you my teacher version where I've done this. I've got my major claim. I've got my supporting claim number one, supporting claim number two, and supporting claim number three here. I'm going to zero in on supporting claim three first because it actually is a line of text, and that's probably what many of you will be using. There are some sources here. I'll show you how to do that too, or the sources that were images that we examined, and I'll show you that as well. So the first thing I did is I've got my supporting claim. Agricultural-based societies had a much higher quality of life than hunter-gatherers. So I've got my core of my claim, my heart of my claim. I've got the higher quality of life. That's my lens. And I'm going to talk about security, predictability, and organization, basically all the things that were discussed in this article, text number 11, The West and the World, A History of Civilization. So I went into that, and in looking over, let's see, where was that source? Right here. No, this source right here. I highlighted a few things in it, and I grabbed one of these and I copied it and I pasted it here. I figured, okay, it offers regularity, stability, order, even routine. Plans can be made, expectations can be realized, people can be expected to act predictably according to the rules. I'm going to write my paragraph and I'm going to use that text to support why agricultural societies are better than foraging societies. And so, first I want to write a little summary stating why it's helpful in understanding my supporting claim, and I just wrote a couple sentences here to explain that. The text shows that life in a developed agriculture society provides things like walls, laws, enforcement, security. With that, people can live lives with greater comfort. They know they are protected by the developed community and the government from outside harm and other events that might impact their quality of life. So this is why this evidence is helpful in understanding the supporting claim. This is something where you're just kind of talking about, like, what is in this? This is our commentary about the text. And then step three is where I then spin into saying, now, why does this prove that my supporting claim and ultimately my major claim is true? Why does it prove my claim? So, this shows that developed agricultural societies will provide a greater quality of life for its members. Those living in this society don't have the exposure to uncertainty that foraging communities face. Foraging communities may have the ability to just pack up and move along if disaster strikes, but agricultural communities have the support of their leadership, government, and systems in place to help the community as a whole when bad things happen. So they have all these supports around them. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want you to understand that this is where we write, a few sentences explaining how it supports our supporting claim and ultimately our major claim, right? It all links back to that. So now there are some of the sources that I'm just going to go up here because I know some of our sources were comparing, say, two images like these stone tools and these metal tools. And these are from an agricultural society and these are from a hunter-gatherer society, Neolithic, Paleolithic. So I'm just going to say here, I just identified the source. One of them was the flint blades and the scraper of green jasper and when they were from. That's just text number 1. The other are metal tools for agriculture found in 4th century BC Spain. And then, now I can kind of explain that I've compared these two tools that are used for harvesting and weeding and other farming activities, and it's clear they're more specialized. The result of technology makes work easier. The images highlight that hunter-gatherer tools are simple and less advanced. So I'm just kind of doing the comparison here. This is my commentary. I'm sort of talking it up a little bit. And then I want to explain how this proves my supporting claim. They highlight the advancements made by societies committed to agriculture, clear specialization, the creation of metal tools, and the development of tools that help make farming work easier. The comparison of the tools supports the idea that agriculturalists had a better quality of life thanks to technology that grew out of settling and farming-based communities. So I'm just kind of working my reasoning to say, why, explain why does the analysis of these tools ultimately support my major claim. Well, it supports my supporting claim, but also my major claim. All right. So it's basically when we write a current event, this is your commentary, but you're just boosting it up a little bit more than a current event. Okay. So that's the business for the analysis and evidence pre-writing tool. All right. So get after it write these up for all 3 of your supporting claims. And essentially you're kind of writing the essay for yourself by doing this planning right now. Okay. So once you have all this done, you're just right on track to write up this essay and have a well-developed essay. Okay.